Doesn't matter how many times I watch this. So recently I did a little TikTok reaction video. Oh, no. Oh my God. And of course I was like, oh, that's terrible, but it wouldn't leave me alone. That image just followed me to bed, this horrible, horrible cat fight. Now the thing is not just the screaming and the fur flying and the fact that there are like 6 cats piling in there and it just wouldn't stop. And I bet you it didn't stop after this video quit. It doesn't just ring every bell as the guy who would normally just dive in there and tell everyone to go back in their corners or whatever. It's the fact that there's this one moment that could have made it go the other way if the human being standing there would have caught that moment. Let me show you that moment one more time. Right there. That right there, that little moment, that's the stare down. And the stare down, I think, is something that anybody who has cats who argue and fight, those are those moments that you miss. Those are those moments where if I'm working with you, I can point to the video or I'm in your house and say, that, don't let that happen. Because by letting that happen, you're just rolling the dice. You're just saying, I trust that in this moment, those 2 cats are gonna work it out. It is a roll of the dice. It is a crapshoot. It is Russian roulette. It is whatever you want to call it. Because in that moment, those guys don't recognize their past relationship. All sort of rational choice making is gone. I mean, think about it as if you're in a horror movie and you're just sort of walking around this house, got kind of a creepy vibe to it. It's at night, the lights aren't working, and you're just walking around and, you know, your nerves are kind of jangly. And all that happens is a bird flies by the window and you scream. And that's where these guys are before that scream. And the thing is about a cat is that as soon as they get into that scream, their bodies take over. They are prey and predator. They're always conditioned to either fight or flee. And before that fight or flight instinct kicks in, there's the freeze. There is that judging, but really on the edge of the hairs of my neck judging. And if someone makes one wrong move, that little twitch, it's over. Not to keep belaboring the movie comparisons here, but I'd like you to think about the movie Reservoir Dogs. And if you haven't seen it and you don't want to see a spoiler, well then, bye-bye. But if you don't care about the spoiler, at the end of the movie, we had 6 guys standing in a circle with guns going, you drop your gun, you drop your gun, you drop your gun, you drop your gun. And then there's the freeze. And then there's 6 guys lying there all shot up. And again, so you get what I'm saying right now. You have that moment during the stare down to stop it from being a showdown. And that's so important. So I have a very brief plea to you. Recognize the stare down. And I can tell you also that there's ways to redirect in that moment. And if you can't redirect, there's more direct ways to stop it from happening. Now, can you stop it from happening when you have 6 cats hanging out in the room? Yeah, that's not easy. And as soon as it happens, everyone's going crazy. So it's really important, first of all, for you to identify that antagonist relationship. If there's 2 cats who always fight, then why would you let all 6 cats in a room together at the same time? And I'm not, by the way, dragging whoever made this video through the mud. I mean, that could be a security cam for all we know. And, you know, the security cam couldn't step in like a security guard. Hey, you kids, break it up, you know. You know why I'm staring at you right now? Because you haven't subscribed to this channel. Over 60% of you who watch my videos don't subscribe. Do you not know that subscriptions make this channel tick, as do ringing the bell, and maybe every now and again a thumbs up? Subscribe to the channel. Oh, and by the way, we also have a brand new membership, the VIP club called the Mojo Knots, and if you join it, just hitting that button next to subscribe, then you can become a member of a very exclusive club where you get bonus footage, behind the scene footage, you get membership into our private new Discord channel, and we have, you know, exclusive one-on-ones and chats and all kinds of fun stuff. So join, become a Mojo Knot, don't make me stare at you. if there is that antagonist relationship, it is really incumbent on you to just not let it happen. If you're going to guide those guys back together again, check out my video about introduction and reintroduction and follow it. Do it step by step, because this was a god-awful mess. It's, like I said, it's really hard to watch. So redirect them. And that means a toy comes in, or a laser pointer even, something that is just going to make them go, oh, well, this wasn't as important as I thought it was, and they go in an opposite direction. Or you have treats and you shake the bag and everybody just thinks about something else besides that freeze moment. In that freeze, there are no rational decisions being made. The body has taken over. And that means that in that moment, the idea of reconciliation, I mean, you have to judge it yourself by your cat's relationship to each other, but in this moment, yeah, no, there's no good that's going to come out of like them trying to talk peace to each other. Now, if your cats tend to get into stare downs and you know that you can't redirect, then you do what I call the fire drill. In case this is happening, and it usually happens around the same place, there's this area here where everybody tends to congregate, and maybe it's near a window, and the window sort of heightens the tension, or maybe they're all hungry, waiting for food. Have something that I call a sight blocker, and a sight blocker just is something that you can insert between the cats to break that focus that is not, repeat, not your body, not your hands, not your arms, not your legs. Please, guys, you are going to get carved up, you are going to get scratched, and you're going to get bit, and you're going to wind up on an IV drip like I did the first couple of times. Anyhow, you can use a sight blocker. A lot of times what I will use is a large cardboard box, which you can flatten out, put some tape around, and you just put it down. And make sure that you're not having to go down like this, but it's just hip high. And all you have to do is insert it between them. And what that will do during a stare down is just break. Just break it for a second. Well, what were we doing? And then you can guide at least one of the antagonists away without literally all hell breaking loose, which is what happened in that video. Anyway, I'm going to keep this short and simple. You have an opportunity to stop something like this from happening if you're there, which is either redirect, use a sight blocker, and just know that if your cats are doing the stare down, it's 50-50. It's a crapshoot. It's dice. It's Russian roulette. It's Reservoir Dogs. It's a haunted house. It is a whole bunch of crazy waiting to happen, and you don't have to let it happen. Don't let the stare down happen. Signing off. Light, love, and mojo to you.
Meow.